Friday afternoon, that's what's up. This was the longest day.
Wasn't it? My afternoon just drug on forever.
Morning and afternoon.
Not my morning. My morning went by quick.
It's only because I was looking forward to another episode of The Commute.
I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. Got a good prison story. Always a good prison one.
Yeah.
Andre Silva de Jesus, 35, was visiting someone in jail, and he had a friend inside that he was visiting, and the guard stopped him for looking nervous. You know, so they pull him aside to do a thorough search, and they found the following items lodged up his butt: 2 cell phones, 2 batteries, a pair of pliers, 2 drill bits, 8 small hacksaws, 5 nails, and 3 SIM cards. How much stuff can you fit up your ass? I mean, apparently a lot.
Yeah, a whole laundry list of things.
You know, like, it was a shopping list of stuff. I mean, 2 cell phones, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Like, no, dude, I gotta
2.
cross them off the list. Like, and the thing is, a cell phone, one, they don't seem designed to
be
easily
taken internally.
You know, shove it up your ass. Like, you seem like you'd really have to widen the hole to start it. But 2, like, and
Nails
and drill bits and hacksaws that are made to pierce and slice. Nope, crossing them off the list too.
Yeah.
I might do the SIM cards for you.
How would you? What would you? Once you're there, say you're there.
You made it. You're in with your friend.
You're in, and you're sitting there.
Do you excuse yourself to the restroom and take him out, and put him in your jacket, like a bag, and slide it to him?
I was under the impression that you don't have a whole lot of time to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're in there,
right?
You know, your time is very limited. You know, I don't know. I've never visited anybody in prison. Yeah. So, but that's my impression, that your time is limited in some way. So, not only do you have to get that stuff in there, you have to
get it out
in a timely manner.
Yeah, how do you do that quickly?
All while sitting there.
I mean, you think he maybe had them inside of condoms where you can pull them out? Because how are you going to push that stuff out? Even if you're a good pusher.
No. It can't be. You're not pushing a drill bit out. I'm just...
Nails?
Yeah.
And like very specific, 5 nails, 8 hacksaws.
8 hacksaws?
8 hacksaws. 8 small hacksaws, but hacksaws nonetheless. Why do you, I guess maybe, hacksaws can break easy, so it's like, dude, bring me 8. Because, you know, and just, I don't know if this guy was going to sell them, and he was like, look, I got an order, this is what people need.
Had to have been. Had to be like a sale thing, or, and now that you say that, I guess the nails for weapons. Weapons,
or who knows, tattoos, or...
Yeah.
You know, I took a tour of a prison one time in school, and they showed us all the stuff that they confiscate, and just ingenious things that these guys make out of pens and concrete and just ridiculous stuff. Literal working tattoo needles, like electronic tattoos, so batteries maybe, because it's 2 cell phones but 3 SIM cards. You know?
So somebody else got a cell phone in, but
they needed a SIM card.
Or they needed to swap a SIM card after they call for something.
But he was. Here's the thing. They said he was pretty far along the security process when he got caught. He managed to avoid his haul being detected by X-ray by claiming that he had a pacemaker. But officials are very disturbed that he got that far anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I got a pacemaker. Sorry. The prison director has promised to determine exactly what happened by opening an internal procedure. No pun intended. The thing is, like, okay. I have these people. Take your time. Oh, the driver's getting out too?
They're switching.
Oh, Chinese fire drill.
Park.
Tell me he's not parking.
Yeah, he's parking because she didn't want to do it. So this is just fucking madness.
In the meantime, all the lights are going from green to red for us.
Yep.
Anyway, so you have this specific thing. You got to keep track of what you put in your ass.
Make sure you know.
You don't want to leave
everything.
nails and hacksaws in your ass.
Not at all.
Like, I got 7 hacksaws. Did I put 7 or 8 in there? I can't remember.
Oh my god.
Oh, we made another 20 feet.
This block is like passing a hacksaw. Jesus.
Yeah, like yesterday we had the woman who had a 5-inch long dildo stuck in her vag
For 10 years.
for 10 years and didn't know it. I imagine pretty easy to forget a SIM card,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, they had to have a packing process. You know, there had to be a whole thing. So
Yeah, like I said.
I guess maybe they're all looped together. So like once it starts,
It just comes on out. Pulling like an abacus out of your ass. You know?
made out of hacksaws. The fuck?
That sounds like a Saw movie, you know?
Yeah.
You'll pull these things out of your asshole where you didn't appreciate when you were inside. So let's take a trip from prison to the dentist office.
Yeah, let's get away from prison.
When an Indian boy went in for dental surgery after complaining of pain and swelling in his jaw,
God.
surgeons were shocked to find that his mouth was packed with more than 230 teeth. Teeth. After 6 hours of surgery, doctors at JJ Hospital were able to extract 232 teeth from the mouth of the 17-year-old Ashik Gavai. So he's 17 years old, has an additional 230 teeth.
Oh my God.
Like a fucking shark. They say it was diagnosed as a complex composite odontoma, where a single gum forms lots of teeth. They said you can kind of compare it to like having a tumor, you know, wrapped around the teeth. They said at first they couldn't cut it out, so they had to use the basic chisel and hammer to take it out. There were so many teeth in his mouth that the hospital plans on contacting the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, that's
Get the guy in the books. He said once they opened up the gum, little pearl-like teeth started coming out one by one. Initially, they were collecting them. They said they compared them to like white pearls. But then they started to get tired and they counted them, and there was 232 of them. They came out. Let's take a break and count these shits.
Yeah. Man.
They say now he has a full set of 28 teeth, like everyone should. They said if the surgery had not been performed, it's possible the tumor-like growth would have broken his jaw.
Yeah.
Just from so much pressure and... Jesus Christ. That's painful. I mean, when your jaw essentially is being broken but super slow. Oh, I can't imagine.
I'm surprised he didn't go in before then. I mean, once...
Yeah, how long was he in pain for?
Things started forming in your mouth.
Unless it's just that, you know, couldn't afford healthcare. And
Yeah, or just was afraid.
yeah, some people will deal with pain for a long time before having to hear bad news. So, if your jaw hurts, you might have an additional 300 teeth.
Just a heads up.
just a jaws up. Let's see what happened this day a long time ago. July 25th, 1978. Is that Lois? Or
Yeah,
Louise?
Louise.
Louise Joy Brown. The first baby to be conceived via in vitro fertilization in Manchester, England. I saw a picture of her before recently. She was in Maxim a few years back. Like, where are they now? And she was like super hot. And they would find these hot girls that were, you know, famous when they were kids. Like the girl that fell down the well. They had her in there. And she was all super hot. These little skimpy outfits. That was the beginning of the downfall of that magazine, and they had to revert to that. But no, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was more like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Because that was a thing when we were growing up, big deal when that would happen.
Yeah, test tube babies.
Yeah. And it was joke like, you're a test tube baby.
Yeah.
You get mad at someone. What's in here, test tube baby? July 25th, 1861. Congress passes the Crittenden-Johnson Resolution, declaring that the war is being waged for the reunion of the states and not interfere with the institutions of the South, namely slavery. So,
because basically, like, there were states that were just barely hanging on, that were heavily into like the slave trade. Was it Maryland, Kentucky, Missouri? Those states, like, they didn't really want to be in the Union if the war was about getting rid of slavery.
Oh.
So they passed all these amendments and stuff to try to just keep that pretense up for as long as they possibly could. And
when you say barely hanging on, what do you mean? Like
they wanted to just cede from the Union.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Because that was their whole economy. It was based on that. So they didn't want to give it up.
So not until 1862, with the Emancipation Proclamation, did slavery become the goal of the war.
Yeah. It's almost a full year later.
So what were they saying was the goal before then?
That's what they're saying.
Just
the goal
was
was
goal.
Right.
Gotcha.
They tried to keep up that they just wanted the Union back together, and that was it.
July. What the?
Okay.
Just jaywalk.
Yeah, sure.
What the fuck was that?
Fucking idiot.
Green light. I'm gonna walk across. I'm a cop. Ran his ass down. I'd have backed you. We don't have external cameras yet. They can't prove nothing.
Can't prove nothing.
July 25th, 1898, the Spanish-American War. U.S. forces launch an invasion on Puerto Rico with only 7 deaths. Wow. Usually we have things like this. It's like 40,000 people dead.
Mm-hmm.
Only 7 deaths. In December of 1898, the Treaty of Paris ended the Spanish-American War, officially ceding Puerto Rico to the U.S. U.S. granted full citizenship to Puerto Ricans in 1917. Wow. Again, didn't realize it was that long ago. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of like, I've always kind of been, like, it's just weird. Like, okay, they consider them citizens, but they're not.
Well, it's by their choice. Like, there's been a bunch of votes and stuff in Puerto Rico to whether or not to make it a state, whether they should or shouldn't. And they like the status of the country as just as an outlier, not as an actual state.
That's okay, but they have our currency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They vote. This is stupid. They vote in our presidential elections, but it doesn't count. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck are you wasting time and money for?
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's their goal to be like, hey, look, they even vote for presidency. We're making a mistake.
Or maybe it's maybe that's a written law they have to. They have to at least hold them.
Yeah.
Even as something to do with the U.S. colony.
Yeah, because not a single one of those votes counts. But if you're going through all that, then make it count.
Yeah.
Because if they are part of it, if they are an outlier, well, then our president does have something to do with them. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, they definitely do have, they're heavily tied in with the U.S., like I said, with currency and, everything else. So it's
just kind of weird that, like, they get all the benefits, but, we don't collect taxes from them.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, it's, compared to, like, Canada and Britain, Canada and Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. Really?
Or Australia and Britain, I mean.
Right, yeah. July 25th, 1832, first recorded railroad accident in Quincy, Massachusetts. That must have been a doozy. They bump into a rabbit and stop.
They were all invited out there. Like 35 people were invited out to like see this, some kind of like heavy lifting machinery or something.
Uh-huh.
Something slammed into something else and sent people over this cliff. Injured like 35 people, killed one guy.
Jesus God. wish video cameras were 200 years old.
Yeah.
You know, just to see that, like, whoa, playing the Keystone Caper music, you know, the whole time. July 25th, 2000, Concorde jet crashes on takeoff in Paris. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No.
It was the end of like the Concorde.
Was that the beginning of the end, or was that the end of the end?
No, that was like
that was
the
it?
I don't think
it.
I don't think it's all service after that.
So it crashed. What did it crash into something, or did it like fall
No, it
apart?
like caught on fire. You haven't seen like the footage and stuff?
No.
Yeah, it's like taken off and like the whole back of it is just on fire.
Oh shit.
And it just
Oh, you know what? That does sound familiar now that
yeah, like I'm guarantee you've seen the footage. I mean,
and now they're talking about bringing something similar back. Remember we covered a story on something like that?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to call it the Concorde, but it's supposed to be faster and bigger than like that Airbus. If there's any more shit, you better worry about tiny planes.
Yeah, they're losing them.
Them big planes.
Big planes are losing them. You know, there was a big headline in the paper today. It was like 564 people have been lost on like planes within the past week.
Jesus Christ. It's horrible, man.
Yep.
And jack it up another 200 if you count the one that went missing in the last few months.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But still safer than this bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of that too, because then someone at work was like, well, it's still safer to fly than to drive. You think there's been 800 road casualties in the last week?
Oh, yeah, easily.
In America?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't even America, so I guess we should count the world. So, yeah, you're right.
Definitely in the world, but definitely in America.
You think in America there's been 800 automobile deaths in the last week?
Easily.
Yeah?
Easily.
That's something I'd like to look into.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, fucking 50 states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, how many, millions
So you
of
need
people?
16 per state in a week, so 2 per day. Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a
2 per day per state.
For me. Yeah.
Wow. Damn, man, I want to fly. Here we are in the concrete jungle.
Yep, right in the thick of it. At least we're not going north. There was some accident or something. So.
Well, even today, on the way to work, I got an email from Frank. And he says, hey, I'm just making sure the commute is okay. Because he said there was a pretty bad accident on 13.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, we must have missed it. I said, I believe it because we were almost crushed twice.
Yeah.
But, let's make this 3 times.
Yep.
But, yeah, man, the crazies are out there today.
It's mostly people just not using a turn signal. That's all it is.
Or the one fucking guy driving like a shithead. I bet he probably fucking caused it.
Probably.
That asshole. That just no turn signal, barely had the space to fit. 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, running up next to me, like, just to try to do that. I don't know what that guy was thinking, man.
Asshole. Yeah, these people go. The further left you go, the crazier it gets.
Oh, yeah. I'm staying 2 lanes away from crazy.
Well, the next time you look up at the sky and you see a passing satellite, it just could be an out-of-control Russian spacecraft loaded with sexually active geckos. Remember we were talking about the ship they were sending up with a whole bunch of animals on it to see the effects of mating in space?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
lost control on it?
They can no longer control it. The lusty lizards are among the 22 experiments, including fruit flies and mushrooms, sent into space aboard the Photon M4 satellite on July 18th. On Thursday, Russia's mission control said the craft will not respond to its commands. They can't control it. So that means the geckos and everything else on board could be doomed. In the meantime, the space agency says it's able to receive data from the satellite. And so far, 4 females and 1 male have been busy. They said they don't care they're out of control. They're going out in style. Look, God knows how much time we got left, ladies. Let's get to fucking get on this lizard dick. And they got little lace gecko outfits on.
They sent them up there with them.
You can save 15% if you all fuck me in 15 minutes. What else they say? The equipment, which is working in automatic mode, and in particular the experiment with the geckos, is working according to plan. scientists have even been able to watch videos of the geckos doing it.
Oh, okay.
So these people, they can't control it. Their job is now simply to watch gecko porn and fly porn.
Crazy, out of control satellite gecko porn.
I wonder if every now and then the lizard looks up at the camera like, yeah, you know, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
However, they're hoping to recover all of the creatures alive at the end of the 60-day experiment.
Jesus
This
Christ.
fucking guy, fuck us. Holy shit.
That was almost the end right there.
Yeah, that was almost the end of the commute, everybody. Holy fuck, as we're talking about it. What kind of video would that have been? Talking about getting killed on the road. And it just had a fucking 18-wheeler come a third the way over in our fucking lane.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even get on the shoulder because there were people in the other lane. Yeah, we had another lane next to us. Luckily, they caught it and tailed off.
Christ.
That guy's got a fucking license to do that, right?
Yep.
What the fuck was he doing? Look, he still looks like he's a little...
Yeah, he
falling
was like
asleep or
going
drunk.
all the way over in one lane, all the way back over in the other.
Holy fucking shit.
I saw him do it the other way, and I was like, man, it's fucking coming.
Ugh. Anyway. Where was I? Interrupting the fucking story, this guy. You know?
So
Whoa,
selfish.
Something else
Jesus Christ.
happening here.
It's fucking death row.
This very well could be the end, folks. We may not make it out of today alive. So let's see. They're hoping to get the creatures back alive at the end of the 60-day experiment to gather more data. If they cannot restore communication, the geckos will run out of food. The satellite will come crashing down to Earth in a few months, and that will be the end of the commute and the geckos. It would be the first. It would be the first critter catastrophe for the Russian space program.
Critter catastrophe.
Last year, the Bion M satellite loaded with gerbils, mice, and fish crashed shortly after launch, killing most of the creatures aboard. So, it's not a good time for people in planes and critters in space.
Critters in space on Russian satellites.
They need pigs in space. They seem to always do well.
Pigs, no matter what they do.
Pigs in space! Let's see, yeah, we got time for another. For most people, being forced to spend a few minutes alone with their thoughts is an unpleasant experience. Researchers are finding out. People, they'd rather be doing something than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
When they're alone by themselves, secluded with nothing to do.
Well, that's a point of like solitary confinement.
Right, exactly.
Back to prisons.
You have nothing. And these days, it's not often that you are because you got your phone. You know, you got your tablet, you got your computer. People just whip it out. I mean, fuck, I'm as guilty as anyone. I can't take a shit without taking out my phone and, you know, checking Facebook, doing whatever. So they did a series of studies saying that people would rather do activity, such as listening to music, playing on a smartphone, than sit alone in a room for several minutes. Especially men would rather give themselves mild electric shocks than do nothing. Says Timothy Wilson, the psychologist at the University of Virginia, says those of us who enjoy some downtime to just think likely find the results of this study surprising. But our study participants consistently demonstrated they would rather have something to do than to have nothing other than their thoughts for even a fairly brief period of time. In some studies, they asked participants to sit alone in a bare room and entertain themselves with only their thoughts. No fiddling on the cell phones, no reading or even writing, for 6 to 15 minutes. Then the researchers asked people how much they enjoyed the experience and how hard it was for them to concentrate. The first studies were only conducted using college students, most of whom did not enjoy the experience. The students said they found it hard to concentrate and that their minds wandered. By contrast, when some participants were asked to spend the same amount of time doing an activity, such as reading or listening to music, without talking to others, those people said they enjoyed themselves more and found it easier to concentrate. So the researchers did another study where the students were allowed to have alone time in their own homes and found that students didn't enjoy this experience any more than being in the lab. Even in your own home doing nothing was just as bad. A third of the students even admitted to cheating by using their cell phones. So thinking this aversion to alone time might be unique to students, the researchers did similar studies with volunteers ages 18 to 77 at a church and a farmer's market. I don't know.
I don't know what
how they figure that would be. I don't know.
A good cross section.
Yeah. So the researchers got the same exact results with those people. So no matter what your age, where you are, you don't like to be alone.
These are Americans?
Yes.
Yeah.
The fact that even older people seemed averse to sitting and thinking was surprising. They figured older people would be more content to just sit around and think about the world, you know, whatever. But here's where it gets really interesting. In a related study to test whether people would rather do something unpleasant than do nothing at all, the researchers gave participants the option of giving themselves mild electric shocks by pushing a button. So you're hooked up to this thing, you can sit and think and do nothing, but you are so not wanting to do nothing, you would push this button and shock yourself just to have something to do.
What?
Previously, the participants had even been giving a sample of the shock, so they knew what it would feel like. And most said that they would pay. Now, at the time when they gave them the shock, originally, most people said they would pay to avoid experiencing that shock again. But then when left alone with nothing to do but push that button, they push the button more than once. It's because like, I still have nothing to zap. You know? Yet a quarter of the women in the study and a whopping 2/3 of men chose to shock themselves during their alone time. The scientists explain the gender difference by saying men are more likely than women to seek sensations, you know, good or bad. They said, whereas it may seem to be a symptom of modern living in today's digital age, the researchers don't think that's necessarily true. Rather, smartphones and other electronic devices may be a response to a desire for distraction that people have always had. So you've always wanted a distraction, you just weren't able to get it. Yeah, normally you're sitting on the toilet, what would you do? I mean, then, I know growing up, my parents had a magazine rack in the friggin' bathroom.
There's always something.
You know, there's something to read. A buddy of mine always had a crossword puzzle book in there, you know. He would do, like, people just can't sit alone. Surveys have shown that most people prefer not to disconnect from the world, and most Americans spend their free time watching TV, socializing, or reading rather than relaxing or thinking. And let's face it, even when I relax, I got the TV on. Yeah. Sometimes I'll shut it off and put music on. Yeah. And even to sleep, I can't fall asleep with just my thoughts because it keeps me awake. I just get in this cycle, fucking whirlwind of thoughts, and I need something to distract me. I need some outside distraction to shut my mind off. Right. You know, not that it's a bad thing, because like when I'm mowing the lawn, I enjoy it because I can do nothing then but think. You know, so that's kind of cool. That's I call it my me time. So, you know, I enjoy that for 2 hours. Well, I enjoy the thinking. I don't enjoy the mowing. Still, it's not clear why people have trouble spending time alone with their thoughts. One reason people meditate may be to gain control over their thoughts. But while everyone likes to daydream sometimes, it may be more pleasant when it's spontaneous rather than imposed by others. So you don't mind doing nothing. I guess that leads to the mowing the grass. Yeah. You know, I'm just doing nothing to let me start to think. Yeah. If someone said, go mow that grass, and you can do nothing, it would bug you. Like, well, I don't want to do this. They say the mind is designed to engage with the world. Even when we're by ourselves, our focus usually is on the outside world.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Everyone's geared towards taking stuff in.
But I don't know if I would rather shock myself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Than 2/3 of men. Yeah. So that would mean that even if there was one more person in this car, one of us would still want to shock ourselves. And I don't think I would get that bored. Yeah. Especially if they said you might be in here anywhere from 6 to 15 minutes. Okay, that's not that long of a fucking time.
Out for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, shit. So, all right, well, that'll wrap it up for this week of the commute. We gotta get back to the fuck it list. I'm thinking maybe Monday. Yeah, I forgot all about it. We want to do it on Fridays. Maybe we'll do it Monday and a Friday or something. But just to catch up. But until then, make sure you like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Check out our website, 2commute.com, TWOcommute.com. gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at driverpassenger. And send us an email about anything you darn well please at the Commute Podcast at comcast.net. Hope to see you soon.